It's Bruce Hill, New Skills, New You. And I first wrote this training for Microsoft SQL Saturday in Atlanta, Georgia, and was pitching conferences and events to speak as a sales trainer. What can I teach a, a group of technical employees? We're talking software engineers, database engineers, solution architects, cybersecurity professionals, and of course, SQL database professionals. What could a sales trainer share with them that is both valuable and interesting? The answer is very simple. One new skill will change your life. I actually wrote this training specifically for this event. I'm going to share it with you. If I were to leave the sales training and sales strategy space, I would focus on personal development because I understand what I hope by the end of this presentation you will, that when you learn one new skill, you've added another dimension to your present and open up new paths for your future. I believe that if you work on you, you work on every area of your life. And when you work on you work on your business. So let me share with you what I shared with 10, 15, 20-year professionals in their field that earned me 98% positive reviews on my speaker feedback. And the concept is simple. For whatever reason you decide not to watch this whole video, these two lines, one new skill will change your life, is the concept. And we're going to explore how that works. Learn how to transform your life, business, and career while being the authentic version of yourself. Overcome limiting beliefs around talent and intelligence. Those are the positive outcomes for this training. That's something I learned when creating a proposal. What's the outcome? After they've gone through the training, what are they going to see, do, feel differently? So, objective number one, participants will reflect on their experience and knowledge, taking inventory of their skills or desired skills. I love it. Now, objective number two, create an action plan for their lives and or career to apply these principles and concepts immediately. I believe these two objectives, their clarity and their compelling nature, is what got me accepted for this talk. So first thing I share, you say, hey, that sounds good, Bruce. One new skill, okay. But we can talk about new skills without discussing failure. And many people, maybe it's you, there's no judgment, are unwilling or even afraid of attempting a new skill because they're not good at it yet. Many people do not attempt new skills because they're unwilling to go through the novice stage. And often they incorrectly equate low ability as low intelligence. Wonderful book called Growth Mindset, The Surprising Secret to Success by Dr. Carol Dweck, Dweck. She says, when students believe they can get smarter, they understand that effort makes them stronger. Effort makes them stronger, not success, but effort. Therefore, they put in extra time and effort, and that leads to higher achievement, or some may use the word success. With a growth mindset, we don't punish ourselves for failure, negatively view our ability as a reflection of our value or self-worth. We only acknowledge that that attempt was a step forward, that effort was progress. So we have to look at failure differently as we approach this concept that one new skill will change our lives. That's the first step, because many people are naturally good at things. When they run into something they aren't naturally good at, They immediately shy away from it and say, well, I'm just not a blank person, right? I'm not a math person. I'm not an art person. And they don't give themselves grace or permission to fail at it and maybe find something new. So that brings us to entering discovery by Dunning and Kruger. It's a cognitive bias. That just means a flaw in our thinking. Okay. Simply explain people with low ability, expertise, or experience regarding a certain type of task or area of knowledge tend to overestimate their ability or knowledge. Okay, that's not very simple. Let's break it down. If people aren't really good at something, they have more confidence in their ability, right? So they're not really that good, they're not really experienced, but they have a disproportionate level of confidence at how good they are. They overestimate how good they are. Now, here's something very interesting about this. As we move forward in your ability or skill, as you move forward and increase, your confidence actually goes down. Let me say that again. The more experience you have in something, your confidence in your ability or a period actually goes down. This is the Dunning-Kruger effect. This is very, very interesting. So someone with very little experience or ability is very confident. Someone with a lot of experience is less confident. Why is that? I had to ask myself that question. Why is that? Look at the box here on the bottom left. If you are overconfident, you may have overestimated your actual ability. If you're so confident, I'm going to never get this wrong. I'm perfect in every way in this field. You may be overestimating your actual ability. It's a red flag for you to reassess. But look at the bottom right box. The novice cannot experience imposter syndrome. The novice cannot experience imposter syndrome. That means if you are reaching a point like, I don't know, there's still so much to learn. That's where your self doubt can come in because you've passed the novice stage, maybe even the intermediate stage, you're approaching expert, you are top in your field, and that's when the imposter syndrome kicks in. It's very fascinating. You start to realize how much you don't know. So the novice doesn't realize how much they don't know. That's why they're so confident. They don't know what they don't know. But the intermediate approaching expert realizes and looks forward. It's like, man, I've got so much more to learn. How will I ever master this? And their self doubt creeps in. This is the Dunning Kruger effect. Here's the cure to imposter syndrome. You can combat self doubt. You have to give yourself credit for how much you've learned, for how much you've accomplished. Moving forward, you will gain that confidence as you continue to become an expert and you continue to grow. It is a journey. You never arrive. You will begin that increase in confidence again. But don't stop because of imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is a green flag, letting you know you're getting closer every day. I want to share with you 3 skills that changed my life. And yes, these are all skills: confidence, communication, learning, and sales. You knew it was going to sneak in there somewhere. Confidence. Ooh, you know what? And I'm going to leave this in here. If you look at the descriptions of each word, they're identical. And I'm going to leave this in here because it's very easy to say, oh, this isn't perfect, and go back and do it again. Maybe I'll re-record it one day, but I want to leave this in here. I want y'all to see the journey back. That failure is the toughest teacher. So my lesson here is, hey, Bruce, review your slides. You may have saved over a edited version. We're going to keep rolling. And this is where you have a level of peace that your performance is separate from your identity. Unless you know that maybe I need an editor, but it doesn't mean you're a terrible person. You suck at what you do. And that's my definition of confidence. That's a perfect segue. Confidence is clarity on who you are and who you are not. When it comes to teaching, training, a coach, you find yourself very strong. When it comes to the details in the mundane, it's an area of opportunity. All right, moving on to communication. Oh man, if you can communicate effectively, you can achieve success in almost any area of your life. There's very few professions, relationships that cannot be positively impacted by strong communication. I believe Myron Golden says communication is the, one of the highest forms of value, I think right below imagination. Learning the ability to absorb and understand knowledge. Jim Quick says if knowledge is power, then learning is your superpower. And then, of course, my personal favorite is sales. Sales is not the art of persuasion. Sales is the transfer of enthusiasm from one person to another. That overlaps with communication and confidence. If you can transfer enthusiasm, you will be a better leader. You'll be a better professional. You'll be a better business owner, entrepreneur. You'll even be a better author. Just like communication, sales touches so much of our life. Those are 4 skills that changed my life. Leave a skill that's impacted you in the comments. So how do we get there? We talked about failure. We talked about the Dunning-Kruger effect, that we have to keep going through imposter syndrome. How do we get there? Number 1, never stop learning. This is so simple. But a lot of people finish their degree, they stop. Right? They get their master's program done and they stop. They get that certification and they stop. And those people, I believe, are going to be most negatively impacted by new technology. It's not new technology that's the issue. It's that they stopped learning. Number 2, practice. Look at this carefully. Practice makes improvement. Perfect practice makes perfect. And when you believe falsely that you know everything there is to know, you stop practicing. And you'll see, you'll look up eventually and life will have passed you by. Keep practicing. Don't let failure or fear of failure stop you from trying something new, from that new skill. And feedback. Feedback accelerates your study and accelerates your practice. Get a coach. And this is the difference. Listen very carefully. Coach is the difference between a podcast or YouTube or even a book. You say, oh, I can just watch a podcast. That's true. But a podcast cannot give you feedback. So you may do something successfully, but you don't know why it worked. And you may have difficulty to duplicate that success. Or you may do something, you follow every instruction. I love using the example of cooking. I cook this the exact same way every time. But a coach will let you know, says, hey, you're in the mountains, you're at a higher altitude. You have to adjust the cooking temperature. That's feedback you can only get from a coach. The coach is going to help you ask questions you may not have thought to ask. And this is how we start to master those new skills. One last concept to share with you all. Which new skills should I study? You may have heard that advice, follow your passion. I find it frustratingly meaningless if you, like many people, don't have a passion to follow. So let me share something with you if you're falling into that category. Adult play is a time to forget about work and commitments and to be social in an unstructured, creative way. I believe that creativity is a skill. And while some maybe people may be more naturally creative, I think all of us can benefit from the creativity that helps us to innovate and that helps us to problem solve. And when we talk about work, the priorities we know lead people who enjoy their work are these three things. Paul Newport talks about this in his book, So That They Can't Ignore You: Autonomy, Mastery, and Relationships. So I find the overlap between play and work. We can enjoy things that may be traditionally labeled as work. If we have the autonomy, if we've gotten really good at them, if they positively impact relationships. Some might use the word fulfillment. What I found is that the passion is actually, let me go back, um, created through mastery. Passion is actually fostered through mastery. If you look back at the things you're most passionate about, they're probably the things you've been doing the longest. And your memory may not remember it this way. We often think that the passion came first, and that's why I do it. But you've been doing it so long, you don't remember a time you didn't enjoy it. That has very two things that we can learn from this. You can create new passions as you evolve. My father, shout out to dad, he used to woodwork and he still likes working. But now he enjoys chess. Those are his passions. And he's evolved over the years. You can evolve as well. And that's where one new skill is a powerful concept for your life. No matter how old you are, your skill level, ability, history, culture, nation on the earth, you can find something new that you love. And what you want to bring to your attention, innovation, my definition, is called unusual combinations. I don't believe you have to invent something new. You can combine new things to solve old problems. Peter Drucker defined innovation as the task of endowing human and material resources with new and greater wealth producing capacity. The large organization has to learn to innovate or will not survive. So put here 10 or 1,000. What are those for? Those are hours or repetitions. I believe you should try things more than once and figure out, hey, do I not like this because I'm just not good at it yet? Or do I just not like it? 10 repetitions is a safe place. 10 repetitions. Now, it could be 10 hours, it could be 10 days, but 10 repetitions. Now, the 1,000 repetitions, this is specifically not hours, but repetitions is where you start to go towards mastery. Heads up, this is where imposter syndrome starts to sneak in. Keep going. And what you'll find is you'll mix your new passion with your old passion in an unusual combination. And that is going to make you stand out in a beautiful way in this world. I'm Bruce Hill, New Skills, New You. And whole the concept, one new skill will change your life. You'll allow it to impact you and those around you in a positive way. Thank you.